What's up everyone, it's the Tyrant here and welcome back to my Halo Infinite Legendary walkthrough. Today we are doing the second mission again. This is an extension of my 1.0 walkthrough for Legendary, of the mission Foundation. So it doesn't quite fit into my 1.0 walkthrough or my 2.0 walkthrough. The reason for this is in my Legendary walkthrough, or my 1.0 walkthrough, I use only the weapons that are available in the mission, and I do not use Bandanna. For the 2.0 walkthrough, I will be doing that when selectable missions become a thing, and at that point, I'm sure that we're going to have specific starting weapons for this mission. I do not know if the battle rifle is going to be one of them. So, what I'm doing for this particular mission is I'm adding in, one, the battle rifle, which you can carry over from the previous mission, Warship Grappling. And I'm also adding in the Bandanna Skull. I know some of you don't like the fact that I've used Bandanna in the past for older walkthroughs, more specifically Halo Anniversary. I'll tell you right now, it is not necessary, but if you are looking to get through this mission as easy as possible in Legendary, just for the achievement, anything like that, or Laser or Mythic, then Bandanna does help immensely. Primarily because not only does it give you infinite ammo, but it gives you infinite grenades of all types, including the most valuable one, which is the shock grenade. But more importantly, it gives you infinite charges on the grapple hook, so you can use it without any cooldown at all. So it does make this mission significantly easier and more easy to control. Again, not necessary to use it. If you don't want to, you can use my 1.0 walkthrough, my future 2.0 walkthrough, but if you just want to get through it easily, this is how you get it done. So go ahead and take out this elite first. Again, as you can see, we have the battle rifle equipped from the previous mission. There are no battle rifles in this mission, so just FYI. And we're just going to grapple through this entire battle right here. Again, there is no cooldown when you're using the Bandanna Skull, so you can use it as much as you want to, scale as high as you want to. You don't even have to worry about that 40% upgrade that you will need to use in my 1.0 guide, and more than likely in my 2.0 guide as well. Make sure you have your shock grenades or dynamo grenades equipped. And what this does is it stuns enemies, and it also weakens them. You can technically just keep chucking shock grenades, and you can eventually kill the enemies. You can do that. I don't think it would work on hunters. Haven't really tried that method yet, but on all the other enemies, yes, you can do it very easily. The battle rifle is extremely useful. Just sort of a rehash from my 2.0 walkthrough for Warship Grappling. The battle rifle in this game can hold double the ammo capacity in terms of ammo reserve compared to previous Halo games. So we're going to go ahead and scale this wall right here. Without Bandanna, you cannot do this. But because you have no cooldown, you can basically go as high as you want to. And we're going to get up here, and there's that light bridge. So we're skipping a couple of battles by doing this, and just making it a little bit easier and a little bit faster. So we're going into this next room right here. And you're going to have some grunts and elites and jackals. If you would like, you can go ahead and just skip them completely by grappling onto these rafters or pillars right here, and then onto the wall. And just grapple out of their way. And then just speed grapple right on around these guys. Throw a shock grenade. There are two elites here. There's two minors and one major. As soon as you approach the door, it will start to open. It does take its sweet time, so just an FYI there. You might want to take some cover while it is opening. As soon as it is finished opening, you can go ahead and just grapple on through and go ahead and enter this room. Of course, there is a cutscene here followed by a very long lift sequence. And the lift sequence is something that you cannot skip. It's something you just have to deal with.
have you been?
What happened?
So, always nice to see the weapon.
The rogue AI known
You know, I actually do like this character. I'm sorry if I'm talking through the cutscene. Yes, I am. But if you really do want to see the cutscene in one of my videos, I
your head or something?
don't say anything in my 1.0 guide. And, of course, I have my full campaign of cutscenes video for Halo Infinite as well, where I do not have any commentary at all.
So if it wasn't
But I do like the weapon as a character. I think she is sort of a more innocent take on Cortana. You know, Cortana, I love Cortana, trust me. I mean, I named one of my cats after Cortana. But, you know, after everything that she's been through leading up through Halo 5, which, again, I'm not happy with the direction 343 went with her in Halo 5. They could have just left it at that at Halo 4.
no
This is a nice, fresh take on a very,
purpose, and
I guess, similar character.
my mission is over.
We have a new one.
Just, she feels very brand new, if that makes sense.
Make sure they don't.
First of all,
And it's nice seeing this universe
second,
from a new
notice that
perspective
some
as
features
well.
of this installation have
Or at
been
least having a
added.
new input on it.
That, impossible. And third, to fire this ring, they would need an activation.
And yet she's still not an idiot, which makes it even better.
Parts of it as well.
Something stopped your deletion. We need to find out why.
But this wasn't the mission.
The missions change. They always do.
Are you sure?
There we go. Alright, put that chip back in there. There we go. And now the lift sequence begins. This does irritate me a little bit because it is a little bit lengthy and there's really not much you can do. Even with infinite grapple, you know, no cooldowns, you can't really grapple up the sides here just to get to where you want to go. So while this is going on, I'm going to sort of take you through the rest of the mission. And essentially, the battle rifle, one of the great things about this is it works well from a distance, and with the 3-bullet spread, it's very easy to take out both grunts and jackals. Jackals are surprisingly easy using this weapon. The two weapons I would highly recommend using against them are both the battle rifle and the pulse carbine. Both are fantastic, and they make the final room in this mission far easier. Apart from that, one of the nice things about having no worries with the grapple hook, just having infinite charges on it with no cooldown, is it does make the skip for the chasm area far easier because you don't have to time it. And again, for those of you who don't know, again, I'm sure pretty much all of you do, but you do get the Bandanna Skull from the final mission. So if you play this game on easy, you can get the Bandanna Skull that way. Co-op is coming up as well. And apparently you can just, you know, get the Bandanna Skull with other players and it retains. So we're just going to go ahead and skip around these guys. We're going to do something a little bit different here and just grapple to this structure right here and then back up here, avoiding the ramps in the other room entirely. Grab this power seed. You can technically grapple to the other side without using the power seed, and it does work perfectly fine. Just, you know, if it is a bit far and if your timing isn't great, again, you don't have to worry about it as much with Bandanna. But if your aim and timing is a little bit off, there is a death barrier, so it might affect, you might fall to your death. But if you don't care about no deaths when you're doing your legendary walkthrough, you can technically grapple to this platform right here without grabbing the power seed. So now we're just going to watch the weapon play with the orb thing. And no, that was not meant to be a dirty joke. Don't, no.
I remember being deleted. Let me just...
There are quite a few cutscenes in this mission. Most you can just skip. Actually, I think pretty much all of them you can skip if you want to. But I do find it amazing that Jen Taylor, who voices Cortana, also very distinctly voices both the weapon and Dr. Halsey. That's 3 different characters, all completely different voices and personalities. Similar, mind you, in terms of voice, but very distinct, very unique personalities, and I think that's absolutely amazing. Jen Taylor is still one of my favorite voice actors on this planet. Such an amazing job with the Halo franchise over the last, now over 20 years. So, huge shout out to Jen Taylor. And also, she was kind enough to be a... Granted, it was only a couple of minutes. Well, not even that. But she has also been a guest on my channel. More specifically, my Halo 3 Legendary walkthrough, where she did a very short interview with me about the mission Cortana in Halo 3. But amazing person. Just such an amazing individual and very talented artist. Okay, so I think this cutscene is about to end. Something about I touched it.
Was that real?
Again, not supposed to be a dirty joke.
It's just here.
Clusters of recursive code. And everyone in the IT industry is losing their minds right about now. Because that is not how code works. It does not just sit there and glow all around you. It can travel through the air, yes, but yeah.
Based on what you've told me so far, the bigger question is, did Banished need it?
Do it.
And that was my same reaction the first time I had a Jägermeister. So, or Jaeger Bomb, I'm sorry. Not Jägermeister, that's the brand. Alright, so going through here. Again, this is the more frustrating skip if you're not using Bandanna, because you do have to time things really well. Basically, what you're going to want to do here is grapple up these columns. You can choose either side, really. I choose the left, typically, and then grapple onto this ledge right here. If you miss, like I did right there, you have ample opportunity to make up for your mistake as long as you have Bandanna activated. Otherwise, if you don't, it gets a little bit more complex, and you have to time it better and aim better. I do the best I can, but it is what it is. See? I missed both times, but again, with Bandanna on, you can grapple as much as you want to. If you want to see what this looks like without Bandanna, then you can check out my 1.0 Legendary walkthrough. I did this without Bandanna, without the lack of cooldowns. So it can be done. I just kind of wanted to hurry up through this particular segment right here. Now, one thing you do want to watch out for up ahead, don't worry about the Mule Grunt. He's nothing. There is a brute with a skewer. Just make sure you take him out. You can grab his skewer as well as the skewer that's just sort of laying around the room. But if you have Bandanna on, you obviously don't need to grab both if you do not want to, because you have infinite ammo, so there's really no point. But if you are playing without Bandanna, I'd go ahead and grab both. This gives you like 8 rounds for the skewer, which will work very nicely against Tremonius, who is the boss of this mission. So if you want, you can actually just grapple straight up the shaft right there. I'm going to go ahead and use the power seed just because, why not?
This object, it's part of the ring's life force.
It may shave off a couple of seconds if you just grapple, but really, you don't have to. but it can be done if you would prefer. And so now we are at the final room. This is primarily made up of, well, pretty much only made up of grunts and jackals. Now, what you're going to want to do here, and I'm going to sort of prep you for this.
Chief, stop. How is
And of course, you got to pick up the armor core first, or the Spartan core.
she was carrying an
And this is the enhanced shield module. You won't really be needing it for this particular mission since there are no extra Spartan cores that you can pick up to upgrade it. But it will come in handy much later. It is one of the cores that I tend to focus on the most, aside from the grapple shot. And again, primarily the main reason focusing on the grapple shot is if you are not using Bandanna. Also, the first upgrade to the grapple shot, as of course you know at this point, this is a no-brainer, it's been out since December, is the Electro feature. So again, this whole room is pretty much just grunts and jackals. Try not to use the fusion coils here, because we're going to use that against Tremonius to just basically one-shot him.
We're here. That elevator should take us.
But the battle rifle does make this particular part of the mission significantly easier. I think there are either 7 or 8 fusion coils in this room that you can pick up, and then you can drop those on Tremonius's spawn location. You do want to watch out for the jackal snipers here, or stalker jackals, or jackal marksmen, whatever you want to call them. There's one on each side on the second floor, so make sure you take those guys out. I do tend to focus on the ones in front of me first before focusing on the marksmen, simply because they have an open shot at you with a door, you know, right there. So just be aware that the jackal is right there, and you can, if you're quick enough, just grapple to the second floor. There is some cover up there, but some of the other enemies may advance. There are enemies that come out through the doors on the lower level, so you do want to be sure that you're not in their line of fire as well. Definitely take the high ground, in the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have the high ground. So the nice thing about this is it gives you a vantage point. Fortunately, this door does stay unlocked, so if you do need to retreat, you can easily grapple back here, especially with Bandanna. You can do it very quickly. So again, try not to use the fusion coils here, because if you pile them on Tremonius' spawn location, it's very easy to take him out in just one shot. While I'm going ahead and just picking these guys off, and there's really no strategy involved here other than what I already told you, which is staying on the high ground and just simply picking them off one by one, moving through the room. There are some more on the upper platform on the far side where Tremonius does spawn eventually. One of the things that you're going to need to do is eventually trade off the battle rifle for the needler. So right now your secondary weapon is the skewer. I have tried juggling the battle rifle to the Tremonius battleground, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes it does despawn. I've noticed that weapons in this room do despawn sometimes, and I'm guessing that's a trash priority. They started doing that in Reach. Bungie did back in the day. 343, I guess, took some notes in that category. And so you can't count on that. But the good news is that there are plenty of battle rifles in the next mission, which is Outpost Tremonius, and I would highly encourage you to grab one of those. Battle rifle is probably the second most useful weapon in this game, next to the pulse carbine, with the Mangler being a close third. The nice thing about the battle rifle, obviously, is, again, as I said earlier, you can shoot from a distance and have, you know, pretty decent accuracy. And it does have a very strong effect on shielded jackals. A lot of weapons do not, other than the pulse carbine. Pulse carbine is nice because it is essentially A plasma weapon, just like traditional plasma weapons like the plasma pistol, the plasma rifle, storm rifle, in that it does deplete enemy shields, or at least can pick them down. However, unlike traditional plasma weapons, it can also land headshots, and it also does have a homing feature on top of that. So it's basically, think of it like a ballistic weapon, a plasma weapon, and the needler all wrapped in one. So it's a very useful weapon. The only real downside to it is that the projectiles move a lot slower than ballistic weapons, so that is one thing to keep in mind. But it's extremely useful, especially if you're in a mission that does not have the battle rifle. And again, I don't know what selectable missions are going to be like, whether maybe you can pick your weapons at the beginning. That might be an option. Maybe you can select from certain starting weapons. That would be great. I would love to see that, but I'm not counting on it at the same time. And it's difficult to predict what 343 is going to do here. Because traditionally in most Halo titles, most missions have their own custom starting weapons. So each mission is different. Halo 5 sort of broke the mold in that category, where it just simply depended on whether or not you were playing as Master Chief or Spartan Locke. If you were Locke, you always had the battle rifle and the pistol, versus if you were playing as Master Chief, you always had the assault rifle and the pistol. Hopefully you have at least an option, or at the very least for missions that the battle rifle is not actually in, such as this one, you can start with it. That would be a very cool feature to have. So we're a ways off on that. I know they're doing some testing right now, but we'll see. So right now we're just going ahead and gathering up all the fusion coils and just lining them up. And to sort of guide you through this battle, and I have a separate video on this entirely, but just sort of guide you here, your goal is to stack all the fusion coils, and once you plant the power seed and you activate the elevator, here's what you're going to need to do. You're going to want to grapple Tremonius. Your reticle's already going to be on him at the very start of the battle, and immediately ungrapple him. You don't want to get pulled too far towards him. And what this will do is it will stun him. And what you can do from here is toss a plasma grenade on him. So before you actually start the battle, switch from shock grenades to plasma grenades. Stick him. The plasma grenade is going to not only damage Tremonius, but it's also going to detonate all of these fusion coils. From there, you're going to immediately want to follow up with the skewer. If done correctly and timed right, you can actually get him in one shot. Once you actually nail him with the skewer, that should be it. Tremonius should be done for, and there's only going to be 2 jackals that you're going to need to deal with. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they have manglers. So, you might want to get out of their way pretty quick, grab some cover. But you can, kill Tremonius in under 5 seconds. Why I recommend that you trade out the battle rifle for the needler is in case, and this does happen. There are certain scenarios, mainly 2, where it doesn't work in terms of one-shotting Tremonius. Sometimes, on rare occasion, he will jetpack right away before you even have control over Master Chief. In this case, the grapple-ungrapple is not going to stun him. So that could be an issue. You can still damage him severely by sticking him with the plasma grenade and making sure that those fusion coils detonate. And most of the time, at the very least, it will take out his shield, which, by the way, does recharge. At that point, one shot from the skewer is most likely not going to take him down. However, if you follow up with a couple of clips from the needler, that will finish him off. So that's why I say it's important to have the needler with you as well. The battle rifle is not very effective against him. And once again, you can pick up another battle rifle in the following mission, so losing it here, even if it does despawn, is not a huge loss. You do not have to worry about it. So we're going to go ahead and pick up the needler right here. Again, because we have Bandanna, we have infinite ammo. We really don't need to check for more. Although there will be additional ammo in the actual Tremonius battle if you need it and you're not using Bandanna. So as you can see, I'm going to try to juggle it here. And this room is a little bit complex. Although in reality, in retrospect, I could probably just swap it for one of the weapons on the platform from one of the enemies that I took down over there. But if you do want to try to keep the battle rifle, you know, just for the sake of having extra ammo for the next mission, if you're not using Bandanna, this is an option too. You can just, you know, drop off the battle rifle in the Tremonius arena. And it might be there, it might not be. So we're just going to drop this here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and call the elevator.
This elevator is drawing power from the ring. Well,
And
the seed is missing.
oh, that's right. We got to get the power seed. Whoops. I was so preoccupied with stacking all those fusion coils, completely forgot about the power seed. Again, not a big deal. There are no enemies over here. So we're just going to go ahead and grab the power seed. Again, you can get there pretty quickly with using the grapple shot coupled with Bandanna. No big deal. You can actually grab the power seed with the grapple shot.
Let's get back to the elevator.
So, just to reiterate, as soon as you are in control of the Master Chief of the Tremonius battle, grapple, ungrapple to stun Tremonius. Make sure all your fusion coils are stacked ahead of time. Once you have stunned Tremonius, go ahead and throw down that plasma grenade, stick him with it, and then immediately follow up with one shot from the skewer. If he's still alive, he will be significantly damaged at that point in time. So all you need to do at that point is either A, if you already used your skewer, your one shot from the skewer, go ahead and switch over to the needler and just empty a couple of clips into him, and that should finish him off. Just be wary of his 2 jackal henchmen that he'll have with him with manglers. So just going to make sure these things are right around this area. You can see that groove right there in front of them. From this angle, it's over there on the right hand side. That's about where you want to place this. And then we should be ready to plant the power seed. I always forget where this goes. That's the... no. It's over there on the right. Yep, there we go. So we're going to plant the power seed right there. We are good. Now we just need to activate the elevator and just do exactly what I said earlier. And here comes our 19th favorite brute. Don't even know where he ranks at this one. Just, I do like his line though. He did not specify in how many pieces. At least he's somewhat clever. May not be the best combatant, but he's at least somewhat clever with his intimidation. Although he does grunt a lot. But yeah, he's got... alright, so Tremonius has a Hydra and a Bulldog, which is the automatic shotgun that's in this game. So just be very aware of that. He's very much effective with both these weapons. So again, we're just going to stun him real quick, stick him with a plasma grenade, which should detonate. There we go. Yep, that took care of him. So he is completely gone at this point. Again, usually one shot from the skewer or 1 or 2 clips from the needler will finish him off if the explosions alone don't do it. And sometimes they will. But it's nice to have that skewer ready just in case. Can't believe Tremonius dies from 1 shot from the thing, but this Jack will survive with a shield. I want those shields. So that concludes my 1.5 legendary walkthrough for the Mission Foundation on Halo Infinite. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope it, if you're not looking to cheapen things with Bandanna, you can use my 1.0 guide and my future 2.0 guide. But if you do want to make it easy on you, this is the way to do it. I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy day to sit down and watch this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, I hope you'll consider subscribing for more great content right here on MythicTyrant.com, as well as the rest of my Halo Infinite 1.0 walkthrough, as well as my future 2.0 walkthrough for Legendary, as well as Lazo/Mythic. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful week. Side note, this is Tyrant Day 7/7, July 7th. So I wanted to post this today. But again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful week. Happy July to you. I will catch you all right back here next time. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.